early on, and I forget like how many things we got done, and immediately it made a huge difference with people booking and a lot less like back and forth.
Hey, Boudoir photographers. Are you ready to be totally booked out with high-paying clients? I'm Tracy Lynn, and I went from side hustle photographer to running a $1 million boudoir photography business, working just 30 hours a month. That's right, just 30 hours a month. On this podcast, I tell you how I did it and how you can too. Hey guys, today I want to introduce you to one of my private coaching clients, Erin. She owns a photography business in New Braunfels, Texas. We've been working together for about the past year or so. About 2 years ago, she joined my program, which is now 6 Figures Simplified. It wasn't 6 Figures Simplified at that point, but she joined that, and then about 6 months later, she joined private coaching. And while the program, it didn't come with any group support or anything at that point. But while that program really helped her get a very good foundation, she really felt she needed support in order to grow her business and accelerate it to actually make money, feel that freedom that we talk about all the time, and grow her business to the point where she wants it to go to. The really cool thing about Erin is she wants financial stability for sure, but the biggest thing that she really wants is to not just have financial stability, but to have a business that allows her the freedom to spend with her son, to take him to pick up or to drop off at school, to be there when he's out of school. I remember several of our calls. She didn't cut them short, but we had to go right at the end time instead, because sometimes I will spend a few extra minutes with my clients if we're working through something. Like, yes, our calls are an allotted time, but if we're working through something that we need to make sure that we get through and work through, and that way I can help her with her business and help her grow and help her get through those issues. I am not like, this is the time that you have, unless one of the two of us have something to do after the call. If we need to go over 5 minutes, I'm okay with that. But with Erin, her pickup and drop off time was more important to her than making sure that we got through the things. So we made sure that we got through what we needed to get through, but she had her focus on what it should be, and that was her family. And I love that for her. I love that she's created a business that's going to allow her to build that business the way that she wants it to, that's going to allow her to live her life the way she wants to. She was a burnt out caseworker. She's going to tell you that in this program or in this podcast interview. But she was a burnout caseworker, and she knew she didn't want to get to that point again. So she was really, really focused on making sure that her business is going to get her where she wants. It's going to give her the freedom that she wants. And one thing that I really picked out in this interview is she says something about she's living her dream right now. She's getting to enjoy the freedom that she wants, the financial security she wants, and it's all because of her photography business. So if you are in the stages where you don't know if you are where you want to be, if you want more financial stability or you want more time freedom, make sure that just know that your photography business can get you there. All right, with that, let's go ahead and dive into the episode. So, Erin, tell us a little bit about yourself, your business, your family, whatever you want to share with the audience.
So I'm Erin. I'm in New Braunfels, Texas. I live with my husband and our 10-year-old son. And basically, my family's everything. So when I'm not, in the studio, I'm hanging out with them.
For sure. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely knew that because when you were a previous coaching client, and we always scheduled everything around your
Mm-hmm.
son's pickup and drop off and all the things. And I love that because
Mm-hmm.
you having a business like this definitely allows you to have the freedom to build your own schedule and everything. So that's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd love to start with your photography journey. How did you end up in photography? How long have you been a photographer? Give us all the details.
Okay. So I have been a photographer since 2015.
Mm-hmm.
I, before that, was a super burnt out caseworker, so
Uh-huh.
social work. And when I had my son, I knew I couldn't do that anymore. Like, there was no way I
Mhm.
could go back to that. And photography had always been something that I had done for fun. And it was kind of like this pipe dream, like, oh, it would be cool, but I can't do that. And
Right.
so when my son was born, I was staying at home with him. I wanted to be a stay at home mom. And it was kind of like, it's now or never. Like, if I don't give this a shot, how can I possibly tell this child you can do anything you want in life if
Right.
I'm not, doing it?
Mhm.
And so I kind of just started, like a lot of people do, super $50 in the park with a family. And
Mhm.
so it started very, very part-time. And as my son got older, I kind of increased the time that I was spending on the business. And to be honest, in the very beginning, it wasn't much of a business. It was
Yeah.
just kind of a mess. And
Mhm.
then so I've just, like, as time has gone by, I've had more time to devote to it. But that's kind of, how it started.
I
Mm.
love that. Are you originally from New Braunfels?
Yes. So originally, I'm from the Panhandle of Texas, in a really,
Mhm.
really small town, but middle school, high school here in New Braunfels, and then we lived in Montana for 7 years.
That's awesome.
Yes, it was amazing to get away from the heat of Texas.
Mhm.
We had been living in Austin for years and years, and it's getting so big and the heat, and so we lived in Montana, and that's actually where I started my business. And then
Mhm.
our kiddo was getting bigger, all the families down here, cousins, grandparents, and so we moved back. And I think it's been like 6 or 7 years now.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I,
That's
I
awesome.
I'm kind of I'm from here, but hadn't lived in New Braunfels as an
Right.
adult ever. So
Do you think that helped you with like growing your business because you had connections in New Braunfels, or do you think that that was like instead of helping you grow your business, it kind of hindered it because your friends and family wanted you to do free sessions?
there was a lot of that. There was a lot of friends and family, not necessarily asking for free sessions, but me feeling like I had to give it
Yes.
away for free.
Right.
But one of the good things about moving and kind of starting over is I had never done in person networking before because I was
Mhm.
afraid. And so when we moved to New Braunfels and started over, it was kind of like, I have to meet people. So
Yep.
I I jumped into in-person networking and found a group that met every week, and
Mhm.
just very quickly got over the fear of
That's
being in
awesome.
front of other people. So,
Yep. Sometimes you just
and
have to force yourself.
yeah, and it's been fantastic because the people that I met the first year here still send people to me, and I have a good
That's
relationship with
awesome.
them. We keep in touch, so yeah, it's been really
That's
good.
awesome. So you
Mhm.
basically just got over your fear and just did it even though you didn't want to.
I was shaking during the
Uh-huh.
first meeting, like voice cracking, and
Mhm.
then just introducing my name, like,
Right.
and then like each week, you just get to know people and it gets easier. And now I go to in-person events like all the time, and
Mhm.
it's still like talking in front of people sometimes is
Right.
nerve-wracking, but it's not that like fear.
Exactly. I also think that like cuz you said that was probably 2015 to 2017 when you were doing that. I
Mhm.
feel like we were forced to do it a little bit more then because yeah,
Mhm.
we had Instagram and stuff, but I feel like we weren't living on social media and behind
Mhm.
our phones all the time. So we were like, what else are we supposed to do? So I did it too. The biggest
Yeah.
introvert ever. I know you might not think that now that I have a podcast and everything,
Yeah.
but literally the biggest introvert ever. And I still force myself to do that. And I do think that we who started our businesses back then, I
Mhm.
think we have an advantage because we know how to go out and do
Mhm.
that. So to everyone listening, that's a big takeaway. Put yourself out there and
Mhm.
go to those in-person events so that you can get over it, and then it makes
Mhm.
it so much easier later.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because even when because you did a
Mhm.
bridal show last year, right? And even then you
Mhm.
were totally fine. right?
Yes, and that would have been I wouldn't have done it, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
because that would have been too intimidating, like, it's too much, but,
Right.
I
Yep.
did it and felt good about it, so and now I look
Yep.
forward to meeting people because I get to talk about what I do, so
Mhm.
and that's the other thing too, it's not like I'm not necessarily talking about me and my personal
Mhm.
stuff, it's, like,
Yep.
the business and how, I can help
Yep.
women, so it's really easy to talk about that.
Yes, exactly. I love that. Look
Mhm.
at you getting over your fears.
Yeah.
So, how did you end up in boudoir photography?
It's really funny because when I started, I was in Montana and it's very
Mhm.
cold a lot of the time
Yes.
and snowing. And so I got a little studio space because I had a baby, a husband, a dog at home. And it was just really
Mhm.
hard to kick them all out for shoots. And so I had
Right.
this small space and it didn't have any windows. And so I had to learn lighting really, really fast. And so I
Mhm.
invited a couple of friends in to do like practice sessions.
Mhm.
And everybody was interested in boudoir. Like
Okay.
they were asking about it. And I'm like, I don't know. And so I did a shoot and it was fun, but I didn't know what I was doing. And then I had like people I didn't know wanting to
Mhm.
do boudoir. And so in the beginning, I kind of bumbled through it.
Right.
But I loved it so much
Mhm.
because like the connection that you have with those clients is just so different than like the my business is still kind of half and half, like
Yeah.
headshots, personal branding, and boudoir. But the boudoir clients are my dream favorite clients just
Exactly.
because that one-on-one connection. So
Mhm.
it kind of just started like that, and then I loved it so much I wanted to do more. So then I started, kind of marketing a little bit more to that.
Mhm.
But it's only in the last couple of years that I've really started pushing it.
That's awesome. It's
Hmm.
kind of like exactly how my boudoir photography ended up because I was like, what is boudoir photography when my friend asked
Hmm.
me about it? And then I did one session and I was like, oh, this is awesome. And
Yeah.
I was addicted from there on. Like
Yes.
not a question, this is what I need to do.
Yeah.
So, what is your ultimate goal with your photography business?
So my ultimate goal is I'm doing it right now, but is to
Yes.
create a business that I can spend time how I want with my family. So
Mhm.
right now my kiddo's in well, I mean, he's going to be starting middle school this next year, but it's been
Yep.
elementary school. And so being able to be there for all of the many parent participation
Mhm.
days and being able to
Yep.
like volunteer at the school and help out and just be there on the weekends and
Right.
if we want to travel or if we want to go somewhere, just having the ability to not have to ask for time off and
Yep.
to not feel trapped in my own business because it's really easy
Yeah.
to just create like a job for yourself, and that
Yep.
is not what I want.
Exactly. I feel like I kind of did that with the education side. I'm doing better now, but I like worked and worked and worked. And then I was like, oh, I'm working more than I did with my nine to
Yeah,
five.
yeah,
And so I'm like working now. I brought on Ashley, my full time employee, and she's my associate. And I'm trying to get us both where we're just like kind of the same thing. We can make our own hours, work when
yeah,
we want
yeah.
and not work so much.
Hmm.
Because I do think that what you just said is exactly right. Like, if you don't watch it, you will be
Hmm.
working your life away, working more than you were working when you had your 9 to 5, your overworked
Yeah.
caseworker job.
Yes. Yeah.
So, yeah, I love that you are already living your dream. And
Hmm.
you're the thing that I love the most is you're not putting like yes you want to make money and you want to make sure that you are like financially stable, but that is not your ultimate goal. Your ultimate goal
Hmm.
is the freedom
Hmm.
over the money
Hmm.
goals, which I think is something that a lot of like especially in the education is not pushed. Like in the education side
Hmm.
for photographers, they're pushing like $1 million studios and stuff
Hmm.
like that, and I love that you are keeping your focus on your family. That's my
Yeah.
favorite part.
I think Part of that motivation is I've been burnt out and it is
Mm-hmm.
not
Yep.
fun. And so
Yep.
balance is super important to me. And the money is too, but all in balance. And so, um,
Exactly.
yeah, priorities.
Exactly. And you've like you said, you've been burnout, so you know
Hmm.
you know what to
Hmm.
look for.
Hmm.
So you joined what is now Six Figure Simplified
Hmm.
2 years ago. It wasn't
Hmm.
called that then,
Hmm.
but what was your business like before that? What was your biggest stressor in your business?
It was pretty much a hot mess. I was like, just the biggest stressor for me was having things fall through the cracks. So people would like have an inquiry, people would reach out, and I didn't have a great system to make sure that I was following up with everybody.
Mhm.
And like in a good time frame. And then the
Right.
same thing with like getting client work back for reveals, and then not being confident about pricing. So
Mhm.
just very much either giving things away or big discounts.
Right.
So kind of being a little bit all over the place still, and then feeling
Yeah.
scattered. So,
Mhm. And I think
mhm,
with your pricing, like your clients weren't asking for the discounts. It was more like you just weren't confident. So you were just
mhm.
like, here you go. Like
Yeah,
they had nothing, like they were not asking for it. It was
yeah,
just like you were offering it without like any reason behind it. So
right, right.
yep. I do remember that is something we worked on a lot, but I
Mhm,
mean, we your last month in coaching, private coaching, which by the way, guys, she was in private coaching for a
mhm,
year after she did 6FS. We haven't gotten
mhm,
there yet.
mhm,
But we will here in a second. But she was in private coaching and the our last month was last month, but the first thing that we worked on was pricing. And I feel
mhm.
like by the time our coaching was over, you were very confident in your pricing. Like you could go into in-person sales and not give away discounts and stuff like that.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And it was something like I had to fight, like work on, but
Hmm.
pretty quickly after working with you, it just kind of like goes away. It's like the in-person networking. Like you just start
Yep.
doing it and you practice it and then it just is
It's fine.
gone.
Yep.
Yeah.
We actually had a call with the Six Figure Simplified photographers just this week. And that was something that one of the photographers inside it, she was doing $200 sessions, just giving it everything away for free. And she said, well, now I'm having like three, four, five, $7,000 sales. And I'm just like super confident during the sales
Mhm.
session. Whereas a year ago, she was just giving everything away
Mhm.
because she was not confident in the pricing.
Mhm.
It's just crazy how you can grow that confidence with just a few sessions and some support behind you, honestly.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it just takes practice.
Mhm.
So, how did you feel? I feel like you answered this a little bit, but how did you feel about your business back then? How were you booking clients? Was it mostly word of mouth?
Hmm. I think frustrated was the
Hmm.
biggest. Frustrated because I was giving it away, and frustrated because I didn't have a good system in
Yep.
place. And mostly word of mouth. So
Hmm.
I I was still getting referrals here and there from previous contacts, but I hadn't been in person networking the whole time. And then after I started working with you, I kind of started that up again as well. But
Yep.
yeah, so it was mostly just referrals, a few repeat clients.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And then what we've worked on was like SEO, search engine optimization,
Mm-hmm.
and blogging, and like automating your marketing too. So you're not even needing to work so much in the marketing anymore, right?
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
So why did you ultimately end up joining private coaching after you had the programs?
Because I am the kind of person who needs accountability. Like,
Yes.
I need someone that it just because like I knew I would be checking in with you, um,
Hmm.
that there was that extra like level of motivation to do it.
Yep.
And having the one-on-one time just kind of like laser focused everything that
Yes.
the program kind of covers. So for me, it just was kind of a no-brainer.
Mhm.
Hmm.
And I feel like like you said, it is super focused and we can work on what you need help with because there were some things that you did by yourself and we didn't need to
Hmm.
work on, but the stuff that you needed help with, we could focus on that. The other thing that I feel like I noticed is when you were like, for example, the pricing, we could talk through your mindset issues. Whereas
Hmm.
if it's just a program, we build your pricing and then you're like, okay, now I have to charge this.
Yeah,
Whereas with coaching, I could like hold your hand and help you
right.
get to those prices too. So I think that's some other like things that some other things that we worked on too.
Yeah, definitely. That was a huge, huge help. Hmm.
Hmm. That is honestly some of the things that we work with in almost all coaching is
Hmm.
mindset issues, which you wouldn't think would be a focus, but that is almost always a focus with photographers because, especially financial mindset, because most photographers think that they're pricing based on their worth, and not
Hmm.
the case. But also, they have confidence issues trying to get those prices. So it's pretty fun to work with private coaching clients, like working through
Hmm.
those kind of things too. So
Yeah.
you're someone who doesn't love social media.
No.
So how are you booking clients without spending your life on your phone right now? And I know you're trying to implement a strategy,
Yes.
but you have a family, so it's never
Yes.
going to be your big focus. So,
Yeah. So honestly, the SEO, we worked a lot on SEO and the
mhm,
blog, and I get a lot of work through like people Google searching, and
mhm,
still like word of mouth and referrals. So automating all of it has
yeah,
changed my life so
right.
much. Like, I mean, the stress that I felt before is just gone because,
Awesome.
yeah, I know like people aren't going to fall through the cracks. They're
Mhm,
getting all the information. I'm able to spend time on like make better use of my time.
mhm,
And the like having people be able to find me because I've done the SEO work is
mhm.
huge. And then the social media, like having your support on that has helped a lot because I don't spend a whole lot of time on it personally. And so it seemed like a chore. But now I
Right.
kind of have a system that I can, I've started like batch creating posts and
Mhm.
scheduling and things like that. So it's not as like roll my eyes chore. I don't want to do it. So it's
Right.
like, so I've
Exactly.
started this new system and like setting aside a day to do social media and it's
Mhm.
working. So I'm
Yes.
sure that, that'll increase as time goes on too.
Absolutely. I do think, and I just thought about this, I remember one of the things we really focused on was like resetting your website so that it was
Oh,
converting a
yeah.
little bit better. And I mean, that was
Yeah.
super early in our like
Mhm.
time together, but that was something we really focused on. And I do remember working on that, going back and forth. And I think that because your website is more high converting now,
Mhm.
that's also helping. Like, yes, we're driving traffic there, but it's also helping because we've got a website that is built to convert rather than just a business card online. So
Yes.
that's one thing that I wanted to mention for sure.
That was early on and I forget like how many things we
We
got done.
worked on.
Yeah, that was one of the very first things and
Hmm.
immediately it made a huge difference
Yep.
with people booking and a lot less like back and forth because they just had the
Hmm.
information.
Yep.
And so we could spend more time like planning the session
Right.
versus,
Instead of
back and forth
talking
emailing.
them, yeah,
Yes.
talking them into it.
Yes.
Yeah, you already had them talked into it when they landed on your website, basically.
Right. Yes.
Hmm. So, what do you feel was the best thing about the coaching experience?
The mindset support and
Hmm.
also it's so interesting because it's like the mindset support that I got but it's also the like step by step like
Yeah.
system so
Yes.
automating things 100% made my life
Right.
better. But so
Right.
two most important things.
Yes, I love that. Yeah, and that is so basically with private coaching, you get the program, which is now Six Figure Simplified, and then you get the support. So the program is walking you through it. The support is helping you get through the hurdles. So
Mm-hmm.
I definitely like you said, it is step by step, and you get access to that immediately, and you can start implementing so that when we're on our calls, we're not wasting
Mm-hmm.
time on the basic stuff. We're
Yeah.
getting down to the stuff that you really need to actually accelerate your business. So
Yeah.
now that your business is more automated, how are you feeling about business?
Amazing. Yeah. I mean, like all aspects have improved. So, like, my sales
Mhm.
average has gone up.
Yes.
Overall, like, income has gone up. The
Mhm.
time that I am spending has gone down.
Yes.
And I've been able to, like, have time to do more in person networking things,
Mhm.
and kind of like arranged my schedule to have like a day for social media and marketing.
Yep.
And so just like the overall, so I went from stressed and frustrated to, I mean, there's still stresses.
Right. Yeah.
Running a business is, has challenges sometimes, but
Exactly.
not that like every day, all day, like
Right.
what is
What do I
happening?
do next?
Yeah.
Yes.
So like ease of mind, like I know what to do.
Mhm.
I know what needs to be done. It's not like a
Yeah.
question or anything like that
I
anymore.
love that. That's
Mhm.
awesome. Well, I'm super excited. I'm excited about where your business has gone. I'm excited that I got to talk to you today, and I
Mhm.
can't wait to continue to watch your journey.
Oh, thank you so much. And I just have to say thank you so much. Like it's been huge.
Awesome. All right. I hope you enjoyed this episode with Erin. I am so thankful she took the time to come on to this podcast. I'm so thankful that she trusted me and she was able to build a business of her dreams now. So if you are interested in private coaching, be sure to reach out to me on Instagram at It's Tracy Lynn, or you can go to my website, tracylynncoaching.com/coaching. Now that I've brought Ashley on, we have some extra time and extra spots for private coaching. So if you are interested at all, be sure to reach out and let's chat to see if private coaching is right for you. Thank you for listening to this episode of Sustainable Freedom with Boudoir Photography. Please be sure to rate and follow so that you never miss an episode. They drop every Thursday and they're always full of super actionable information for you to apply right now in your boudoir business. Until then, make your next shoot your best shoot.